My son actually went to your camp 2 years ago, the 𝘊𝘫𝘬𝘬𝘦 baseball. And I got to say, what a great facility. And the instructors were great. My son, I don't know if you can see this, he won the RIP award.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so what a great time out there. And it was funny because when we got there, it was, the last day, their games, and they were playing in one of the fields. And me and my wife came and we sat down. And all of a sudden, the kids start coming out with their 𝘊𝘫𝘬𝘬𝘦 baseball cards and asking me to sign it. And 𝘤𝘩𝘢𝘬𝘬𝘦, who, was a pitcher, and he was there, and he goes, just sign them. Kel's not going to be here today. He goes, just sign the kids' baseball cards.
Sometimes it feels like you need to be in two places at one time. So we could have been planning this strategy for some time now. I could have helped you out. You could have helped me out.
Oh.
But it sounds like you represented me really well in my own complex.
Yeah. What would you give a 15-year-old boy advice about, advancing on with baseball?
In the end of the day, how far you go is going to depend upon your God-given talent, which is a hard thing to say. But if you have a lot of talent right now, you got to find out who you are. So repetition and practice and playing as much as you possibly can, getting to face guys' fastballs and curveballs and those sorts of things, and learning yourself probably is the best medicine for you. And if you really love baseball, you want to commit to playing baseball, you want to commit to practicing, because it is monotonous and it is boring, but it does require you to repeat your swing and repeat your timing and repeat your throwing. And you put in the time, then you give yourself a chance. And hopefully, in the end of the day, that you have the God-given talent, to take the next step. And you've built a wonderful work ethic that's going to serve you really well when you get into playing against the highest level of competition. Because in the end of the day, it has to come from inside you. So I'd be advising a parent, don't force it on him. Don't stand over him. Don't make him do it. But if you really love it and you really want to do it, then it's got to come from an internal commitment from the player. So be careful as a parent not to make him hate it by standing over him. Try to support him and try to give him all the help you can. But in the end of the day, it's got to come from you.
Now that you're retired, what do you do for enjoyment?
I take a few days off. No, I get it's really interesting is because of what I went through with prostate cancer, that does change your perspective on the urgency of your life. That if you get that news, all of a sudden you're a little bit more careful what I choose to do, what I want to do, how do I want to spend my time? I've taken up a couple different hobbies. I bought a boat. And so now I'm learning about boating and going around the Chesapeake Bay and all that kind of stuff. But I still want to do stuff. And I have, again, growing the kids business. It's a wonderful time for the tournament business, and some of the curriculum that we're going through is we're trying to expand these successful models in other parts of the country. So I have enough to work on. Our foundation I started when I lost my dad. It's Cal Ripken Senior Foundation. We lost him to lung cancer. We use the legacy of his life to get in front of kids that don't have all the same advantages, and use sport to send them in the right direction. And so we have a national foundation. We built, 100 fields that cost about $1 million, $1.2 million a pop. So it's well over $100 million that we've raised and built, and we're trying to make a difference in communities. So I have a lot of things to challenge my sort of competitive spirit, but I am enjoying this phase of my life to have a little bit more fun and maybe balance it out a little bit more.
I think everybody I've ever talked to before meeting you today, just everybody speaks very highly of you. Like I said, I've been a huge fan, and when I say that this is such an honor for me to finally be able to meet you and have a chat with you, just the highlight of my talk show career.
Yep, so why didn't we do this earlier?